Hey guys, welcome to another session of Kiss My Badge for the fans, by the fans, covering the most exciting league in the world. And shout out to our content partner, Matchday Affairs. This is match week 35.
Four more games to
Four
go.
more games to go, guys.
So the biggest talking point that we want to talk about in this week's show is the match that in the first part of the Premier League was so hyped up that it became a goalless, boring draw. We did a live viewing some more. And this one also...
We were hoping for something different.
Yeah.
Right, the Premier League El Clasico.
Yeah, Premier League El Clasico.
Right,
But the first round, nothing.
First round is El Boringo. Damn boring. But
Then now
it's
even
El Postpunto. I don't know.
El Protest.
El Protesto.
Protest.
I-
Yeah,
For
there
not
was a
being-
joke. I love this joke.
Ah.
The protesters spend more minutes on the pitch than Van de Beek.
That's a good one, eh?
I was sat in my couch and ready to watch, and then the moment I tune in, the highlights were like, kickoff delayed, and then the football show was just running, and they were showing old clips
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So they're like, okay, maybe. So then I tracked back and I was looking at it. So earlier in the day they had the protest, and I thought it would have cleared because I did have a glimpse of the news when I was at work. So I was like, okay, it will clear away anyways. But I didn't know it was impacted for that while up to kickoff.
It was thousands, right? It's not just
It was
hundreds.
no, it was reported in the hundreds, not the
Hundreds.
thousand. I think that would be also if they had come out in full force and protest, then I think that is of course not very good image of themselves, because you're risking all to just make a statement. I mean, we were discussing in the previous two episodes where we were talking about how to hit our respective owners, and like for me, I said the easiest thing I can do is not to buy the jersey. Like, you don't have to support the club in any financial means, right? So as long as they start to feel a grip of losing money, it's probably then they will have the fear and they probably let go. But I guess the fans had enough. I think the real financial reports were coming through. So previously it was estimated that the Glazers took out $1 billion out of the club as a company, but it was then further recorded that they actually had taken $2 billion out of the club
Recently or
in its entirety. So from the day they signed on the dotted line to buy the club up till now, they've took out that amount of money, whether that's in shares or in actualized money, but the value comes up to $2 billion. So that's a huge amount of money. So there were some reports like the $80 million sale from Cristiano was actually paid to the bank, and they used Cristiano's replacement was Antonio Valencia. First of all, he came I think right below like double digits in terms of signing fee. So that's how much the club reinvested from that sale. So it's absolutely ridiculous that after Valencia we had Owen who came in for free, and then we had all these people coming in, and they were all relatively small buys. Well, if the club had real intention moving forward, they would have invested in quality signings. I mean, we talk about Van Gaal. Van Gaal had a recent article about saying all those players he could have signed, but he ended up signing Schneiderlin and some cheap purchases like Schweinsteiger, who came in relatively cheap also. Honestly, shows no good faith from them, and I think if I was there Manchester being my boyhood club, and we were not in a pandemic, I would be there too. Because
really?
I would.
That's the responsibility of you also.
No, not in a pandemic.
Oh,
not in a pandemic. So correct. Just to be clear, if it's not pandemic, we're just having a good normal times, good old times, yes, I would be there, because you need to hear them. Yeah, you know, as owners, you need to hear the your consumers, your customers. All you see your customers is like dollar signs, right?
Yeah, and which doesn't benefit the club actually.
Yeah, so
you're taking all the money for yourself, or
Exactly.
paying the bank, or I mean,
Yep.
you're just paying your own salary lah.
Yeah,
from
not even paying
from
the bank.
clubs. Yeah,
Not even paying the bank.
yeah. So the amount this cash cow, this Manchester United has generated for them, they've just eaten it all up, and instead of reinvesting in the club in the most genuine possible way, the easiest they could have done is to just pay off the debt really quickly. They haven't, so they've been dragging it on. So the thing about this whole United fans protesting is that a week ago, prior to that incident, they stormed into Carrington and then they disrupted a training match.
ground. Yes.
Yeah,
They
so
with
then-
banners, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, so then, you see, the mind-blowing part is they have real guts to do this in a prime time slot, because we're talking about, you know, hundreds of broadcasters
yeah.
around the world just waiting for this fixture. So they've committed money and resources to this, all for their relevant consumers in their respective countries, and the game did not go on. So you know how much loss is that? Like it's prime time
So
slot.
even the mounted police and lots of police, I think there were some injured policemen as well,
I think
trying to control the
that's
crowd
the
and
thing I
chase
got
them
issue
out,
with,
right?
yeah.
After a while, they actually started just letting them go in and not fighting it.
Yeah. That
Because
was before the police
Came in,
right?
so
Yeah.
the because
there's
the
so
mean,
much the steward can
Yeah,
do.
because
Yeah.
a steward is how old?
Yeah,
Let's say
yeah,
example is
yeah.
like 40 plus, 50
Yeah,
plus stewards,
yeah.
And then these guys were like rowdy. They had flares. They had bottles with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a lot of things on them.
Yeah.
They stormed in.
And they got social media. One person
Yeah.
holding the flare and then the other handphone.
Yeah, correct. So they, to me, it's like if
They
I'm a steward, I
recreated the
won't-
Wayne Rooney bicycle kick all.
Really?
Yeah, someone recreated it.
To me, it's like I won't. As a steward, right? I won't go and challenge these guys.
Yeah.
Why? For my safety, right? I won't do that.
Yeah.
Right?
But they definitely made an impact lah, because all the broadcasters are showing, like you say lah, clips, and they are waiting.
Yeah.
Even the teams were still at their hotels, right?
Hotels,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
safety.
The-
But what do you think of Gary Neville? It seems that, you know, some people are not happy because they were saying that he's instigating and encouraging this protest, even though he don't like the owner. But is it right for
He's
him to say,
inside-
"Hey, come on, let's go"?
Yeah, I mean, I applaud Gary Neville and all the other ex-United staff, players who are coming out in loud voices against the Glazers, because even Roy Keane was saying it's about time, because how much longer can people just accept this? I mean, we know that this is greed. This is in our eyes is very much the corruption of football, and you're doing injustice to this beloved football club. It's basically adored by millions out there, and we're talking about, you know, not just in Britain but elsewhere in the world.
Okay, first of all, I have a problem with this kind of. If let's say you protest peacefully, it's okay lah. But they are making a fool of themselves by going into the ground. This is already rioting. It's already terrorism. It's already trespassing. You are also you see people throwing the camera stands and all that. You are actually breaking and entering. You are destroying public property and all that.
Yep.
The whole thing is negative. Why would anybody want to do a positive thing and make change while you are doing something negative? So it puts a negative light on the protest.
Yep.
Like, I won't meet your demands if you are doing this kind of nonsense. So they are doing something that is totally not helping their cause.
What about Gary Neville then?
Gary Neville, I think he's inciting this. The problem is that even Ole, I think, has said something about Gary Neville, which is, I think he was saying like, he shouldn't be trying to instigate the fans. Klopp has said already, all these reporters, right? You want to talk about all these things, you should just calm down first. Calm down, take a step back. yes, this issue is already over. Let's move on from here. If you want to talk about this, talk in a more calmer way, rather than being like passionate and all that and instigating fans who are bound to listen to your words and trying to you're stoking out flames. People are angry already. He's talking all this angry flames.
There's two ways to look at it. Gary Neville is a very passionate guy. He's United thick and thin, right? He's been there for United since in his teenage years, and eventually captaining the side and all that. So he's bred United and being local Manchester boy. So he has a lot going in for his boyhood club. So I get it. Like his emotions really play out in his interviews. I wouldn't necessarily feel like he's instigating something. He's just very vocal about his feelings, like how they should be punished, how they should not be supported.
So who should be punished actually?
I mean,
that's a good point.
Manchester United should be punished for
yeah,
this.
I mean,
what? Manchester United should be punished for
yes.
this.
Yeah,
The club
has to be punished because I think it will evoke more troubles for the because at this point in time, you must understand that I think Ole is doing a fantastic job by managing these players because at this point in time,
mental state.
Yeah, they are all calm. They're very much listening to the boss.
Focus on the game.
Focus
Plus
on
Europa.
The game. Exactly. So there's so much to go for. So don't get caught up in these negative stuff. Let the executives handle. Let the club handle. You just do your work, your job. Like because after all, they're being paid to do this.
Yeah.
So just focus on your job. And likewise, Ole, he's paid to manage the team, and I think he's done a fantastic job because you've not seen, even amidst all this, you've not seen one United player reacting to it. So that's how much control there is. You know, they could have, expressed something in a sly manner, just put one tweet or something, or just post something. But no, so far no reactions, and they have just continued in their professionalism. You see the training videos, training clips. They're all very happy. They're enjoying the times they're having. So I think Ole has done a fantastic job because he's allowed them to progress, stay united without being caught up in this whirlwind of saga going on.
Indirectly, Manchester United has kind of disrupted Liverpool's scheduling.
Yes.
So
now we have games every
but all along it was like that. What? Just now you have more frequently.
No, we could have a rest between West Brom and the next game, and then FA have to squeeze in one game in between, and now we have
so United has including Europa. United has 4 games in 7 days.
Yeah.
So that's
you guys. But the thing is, you guys are in all competitions. So that means if let's say next season we qualify for Champions League, you guys don't qualify, example and then we have Champions League game, we complain, but you guys don't have, you can rest, right? Do you think it's right for us to complain when we are in all competitions? You get what I mean? If we are in all competitions and we have scheduling tightness, we don't have the right because we are in all competitions, right? You can win something, but if you guys are not inside, you guys don't have to complain. But you can rest.
But it has nothing to do with us, what?
No, that's the thing. Now it has to do with you. Because of the right thing, yes. Now we have to squeeze in the game.
You're saying that. Now what you're saying is essentially, you are the reason why I'm lousy at team.
No, I'm not saying lousy. I'm saying that
you're just saying because
we have a packed schedule.
I'm 7 in the league.
You're turning this the other way around. Because now we have
that's what you're saying.
No, we have a packed schedule now. Okay. When we actually have ample time to rest in between some of the games. But because of that rioting, because of that stupid event that the fans did in Old Trafford, now our schedule is packed all the way. So that's the thing. We could have ample rest, but now we have to do it. And the FA itself Last time when we had the Continental, the Super Cup, where we were playing in Brazil, and then the next day they don't want to reschedule our games. Now you are doing it for Manchester United.
And they did threaten, right? If you played a second string side,
exactly.
you will get
so this
penalized.
is what is this? This is bias, man.
Yeah.
This is
No,
obvious bias.
that's why people
Biasness.
say, you know, like for Liverpool, the Hall of Famers is Gerrard, you know, Fowler, and for us, Arsenal is Vieira, but Hall of Famers for Manchester United is the referee.
Yes, correct. Howard Webb. Right?
However, has retired. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him
But
alone.
that's to me, there's a few issues other than this scheduling problem that the FA obviously is so biased against us. It's not only Gary Neville. I feel that it's not only Gary Neville. I feel that right now there are two ways, like I say, there are two ways to do this. Liverpool fans have been very vocal. Liverpool players have been very vocal. They actually, all of them put up posts, right? According to like Mel, right? All the players voiced up that they don't want to play in the ESL. They put up that. So they put up the post on their own social media and all that, saying that no, we are actually against this, right?
Yeah.
This is against football. So players wise, you can actually voice up. If let's say something negative, you can actually come up and voice out. It's not something that is unnatural or something that is not common, right? Secondly, Ole himself has gone on to say that he's unhappy with Gary Neville's tone. He also wants, other than Klopp, I was just not saying Klopp, right? Ole also says that it's better for them to tone down, don't go about all these anti-Glazers and all that, because the fans are right now being stoked up, the fire is being stoked up, and then the more you say this, the most, whatever's, you can say passionate rant, but to me, like, you are a pundit, right? If you want to be a fan, go ahead, do it on your social media, not on live TV. You're doing it on live TV, you are stoking up people who are watching it, and instigating, no matter how you put it.
But
instigating
if
a
the
riot.
main enemy is an owner who is so big, you need all sorts of venue to protest.
No, I think.
But this is the wrong way.
No,
because
see-
you're making it turn it into a negative thing.
When
A
you are
very
little,
negative
you need
thing.
to start a guerrilla warfare.
But guerrilla warfare in this time, pandemic.
So yeah, see that's the main issue here. The main issue is that we are amidst a pandemic. It is just unwise to do something like that.
Yeah.
The respective.
Not just pandemic lah. It's about the
managers-
violence. You're talking these fans who are now resorting to violence when it could be a positive or a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
People got injured. There are public property which are damaged. So what?
No,
this
but
is
you
not
see,
the way.
you see,
This is definitely not the way.
I mean, I think eventually the fans got a little bit smarter, so they went directly to hurt the new sponsor who's gonna come in next season.
Which is?
Team Viewer. It's an IT company that tracks like performance analytics, and so they went on to actually put in bad reviews on the company's sites,
Oh my God.
relevant sites. So
Social media warfare.
So the company was having like almost 4 stars, close to 5 stars. They've brought it down to 1. And it's as we speak, it's going lower because of the negative outpour. And I think if you ask me, okay, that is smart.
Yeah.
That is smart because
Wow.
that is one way to hit the Glazers, because these are new guys who just signed up to be your sponsor. So they have committed X amount, 200, if I'm not wrong, it's 230 odd million, as part of their sponsorship, right? So in return, they are getting the money to have their branding on the shirt. So obviously the money is going to be circulated in the club, for whether it's for wages or whatever, contract payments or contractor payment, whichever, right? So the money is important for the Glazers because this is how they make a profit. So like I said, as a cautious fan, the easiest thing I can do is to hit them, is just not support and buy a jersey next season. That is the most simplest thing you can do, resorting to zero violence.
Well, I think one of the clubs that benefited by looking at what happened at Manchester United is Chelsea. Actually, they were the first club to remove themselves from the Super League. And right after the riots, I think there was news that Chelsea, whatever meetings they had, there would be one fan-based representative in their club meetings. So
Liverpool,
they did that.
Liverpool also.
So Liverpool also, recently they decided on that.
No, not recently. The Spion Corp, which is actually the one that Mel mentioned, who is actually some sort of
To be part
union,
of the
right?
meeting,
They
right?
actually send a letter to the owners.
Yeah.
They send a letter.
So
and now
hopefully
they are
Robbie
doing
also is part of a meeting.
I'm
of
sure
FTV.
Robbie.
it. No, that's the thing.
Come on,
Robbie's on
Robbie,
the call
start
list.
That's the thing. We see this kind of positive things that fans can do, and we see the totally negative thing.
No, that
I
is
mean,
subjective, right? What is your
The
way
problem
of
is that,
effective
example,
protest?
okay, let's say put yourselves in the shoes of the company who's you are in the working in TeamViewer, and then your company got a 1 star now. It affects your rice bowl. What are you going to do as a worker?
Stop sponsoring Manchester United. Then you get your 5-star back.
But that's the thing. You are a worker. You cannot do anything.
No, you see.
The owner of TeamViewer probably is the one who decides.
Yeah.
to
That's the
sponsor.
purpose of the protest, right?
Exactly.
To get to
So you
pressure
see,
the workers.
any movement, whether it's a non-violent movement or a violent movement, whichever, right? It has got a purpose, and the purpose is to eventually attain an objective, right? The thing about Manchester United is the fans are irritated because this is daylight robbery. The Glazers, yes, you are the owner, and by all means you've got the right to take out money, not invest in the club whatsoever. No problem, we get that. Normal people will get that because you are the rightful owners, and whatever proceeds you get, you can choose to reinvest, settle the debt, or just keep it to yourself. It's fine, no problem. But the problem here lies in the understanding of it. And you talk about these fans, right? These fans, they are Manchester born and bred. So this is their boyhood club, this is their village club, this is their...
So very strong passion.
Exactly.
Very
So
strong passion.
it's like people staying in Jurong West supporting Jurong. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like they are that passionate. Like football is a way of life in England, and that is what they're demanding. Just give us our peace back.
There's always collateral damage, whenever there's
But other
protest.
people's rice bowl being a collateral.
No,
damage.
I don't
that-
see it that way. I don't see it that way. Team Weaver will not collapse. Don't worry. Team Weaver will not collapse. Like none of if one person like me take a cautious action not to buy an Adidas jersey next season, Adidas is not going to close shop because they're still sponsoring Arsenal. They're going to sponsor a few teams for over the
They might shift the money more to Arsenal.
You see, the thing
I will
is,
protest with you.
the thing is, these are all global brands. They just invested in United because they want branding. If one by one they start to pull out, and the Glazers need to go and source for new sponsors, that's the real plan. I think if they had just done that, and not do this stupid protest, that would be in the right movement. Because at this point of time, pandemic, you don't have to have anything violent. I mean, if you want to really do something passionate, I think they could have just blocked the entrance.
Yeah.
Instead of going and be rowdy.
Yeah.
That's what the Chelsea fans did, right? They just blocked the entrance.
Adrenaline rush lah. Sometimes
They just
adrenaline
blocked
rush.
they just blocked the Chelsea bus from entering. So they could have just done that. I mean, it was peaceful enough. They had placards, they had all that kind of thing. Just block the thing. Petr Cech had to come out and say, please let the bus
go.
through.
Let my people go.
Yeah. So I think that would have survived, been sufficient.
Yeah.
But they took it up a notch. I get that.
They got excited.
I mean, emotions have take over, and then of course once the stewards were overpowered in numbers. I mean, they did the smartest thing. Is
Shouldn't engage.
definitely.
Shouldn't engage.
Yeah.
Shouldn't engage for the safety.
Yeah.
It seems that you have an umbrage against this protest.
No, it's not. Because example is like how my club has done. We also protested. We also don't like this. Because they wrote letter. They actually voiced out their dislike of us going to ESL. And of course the players also voiced out. and it was peaceful. There was no. They hang banners on the stadium. They didn't go and break in. They hang banners outside the stadium. Right?
And
There's no
they
vandalism.
pull out
and all
their
that.
banners from inside the
Yes,
stadium.
correct. So there are ways to do this other than resorting to breaking and entering. That's what I'm saying. There are different ways, but somehow it has resorted to this. And now, I mean, I'm not the one who's going to glorify this. If let's say our fans are doing this, right? If you are shooting us down, by all means, man, I agree. Don't resort to violence. Don't resort to breaking and entering. Anything that to do with or damage of property and all that you are going to injure people and all that, or hurt somebody's rice bowl and whatever, this is not the way.
Maybe just block the entrance.
Block entrance,
Yeah.
or no, even silent protest like what they are doing, writing to the owners and all that, wanting fan representation, and our CEO Billy Hogan is going to address this. They have talked to the Sparring Corp and they are going to address this.
I think the
So there are
difference
ways.
I feel is that whether you want the short game or the long game.
What do you mean?
Because you guys, two different clubs are facing two different situations, right? Maybe you guys are less dire or less drastic as compared to Manchester United because they feel that now is the time.
Exactly.
You know, there is no more. We
That-
have wasted enough
Yeah, I
time.
mean that's the
This is the
exact point.
shortest way.
Yeah.
This is the fastest
It
way
comes
we
to
need
this
to
question.
make a change.
Right?
Yeah.
The Glazers have taken over since when?
2005, 2006.
2005, 2006, right? So Gary Neville, when playing for United and earning millions, he hasn't voiced out. Only recently. Why does he voice out recently? Only because I think the reason is United are not winning anything, and that's why he's voicing out.
Okay.
All this while they are winning things, Ferguson is in charge. Even Ferguson was not saying anything. And
Yeah.
a few years ago, Neville was actually praising the Glazers. There was articles saying that Neville was defending the Glazers instead. So why this sudden turn?
The sudden
Right?
turn
Is
is
because-
because the financial reports say otherwise.
So all this while financial reports has been negative, what? But why suddenly now?
No.
No. The Glazers have let's say, since the Glazers took over, they have spent $1 billion on players. Right? They've taken money. They also put money to buy players.
Rightfully
Then-
so.
Yes, rightfully so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. But then why is now suddenly this?
Okay,
Why?
why?
Why now? Why not when he's earning millions? Why not when the financial report has said that $500 million has been taken out by Glazers without paying back the? So basically, financial report has been out every year.
Yeah.
So why now?
No, so something
not?
has definitely shifted, right? I think the club has been more because I think as the Glazers got more control, because you have to think about it. They came into power in essentially 2006. So they've been slowly building up, and of course, you had a very prominent figure in Sir Alex Ferguson, who I think rightfully told them from the beginning, like, you know, your affairs in the commercial side of the club is your business, and if you want me to continue running the club, it has to be my way. And I think they respected that figure, and I think if they had not respected Sir Alex Ferguson from the start, then I think we would have that problem already. The problem started to arise is when a prominent figure like Sir Alex left the actual managing of the club. That's when a lot of things got exposed, I believe. Like a lot of things that came up to light. And then we are also talking about the new age of social media. We're talking about, because in 2005, these are early days of social media, right? And now we are essentially run by social media. Everything we hear is from social media. Anything that is good, bad.
There's a lot more opinions out there.
Exactly,
already,
and everything is kind of transmitted by social media. So people are getting smarter. That's all it is. People are more exposed to the facts, figures, and of course transmission of
more
the
aware. They're more aware of the situation.
So last time people will have to read the paper or hear it from someone that, hey, this is happening. But now everyone's got a gadget, everyone's going to get the same kind of message all the time. So the transmission of messages or the information is there.
Yeah. And they
Right.
can't be blaming Ole,
Yeah.
right?
They-
Ole
no,
is
no,
doing
no.
a good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
What if the Glazers are preventing Ole from buying the good players that he wants?
That's what
I think that's the fear as well. Is
Yeah,
it?
I mean that's essentially what I feel it is, because
Let's protest against the
Yeah.
Glazers.
This
that
guy,
more
this
money-
guy is batu api. Firestone.
No,
This one
so
Firestone.
it benefits Manchester United. It
Yeah.
benefits Arsenal, Adidas. Give us more money.
Protest is fine, but to lead to violence, I mean, I'm okay with protest because.
But you're not
Liverpool
okay
fans-
with Gary Neville, right? You're
No, I'm not
against
okay with
Gary
him.
Neville.
No, I'm
Like
against
Gary
Gary
Neville is like
because
Trump.
of-
You know, you instigate.
Yes, correct.
You
correct.
instigate and
No,
then it becomes violence.
I'm
These
against-
men are hurt.
The
No, wait.
processing of-
Let's just get one thing straight, because I mean a lot of things have been said about Gary Neville, and I just think like he's not as bad as what you are.
No, I
touting
used to
him
think
be.
he's not as bad, but now I think he's bad.
because
He's driven by passion, adrenaline rush.
the
Also.
thing is, he's also a own.
exactly, that's why I'm coming to that
He's a
point.
club owner,
He's
yeah.
a club owner, and
Yeah.
and the fact that he's like his group of friends, like a class of '92, they've invested in a club that is ran in the 4th or 5th tier
Now
or
third
in
tier,
the club.
Yeah.
And the fact that they could have pulled their money, they could have gone on to, buy buy Brighton maybe. You know what I mean? Like closer to the league, and but they went to grassroots for that specific reason, is to help the community there. And we talk about them being a community cautious people, because other than running the club, they also run a football oriented hotel in the city of Manchester. They've got other investments all around, in terms of properties and all that. So these guys are very smart ex-footballers, right? So they are coming from objectivity of a owner / fan, because they know the kind of impact you can make as an owner.
But don't you feel that it's lost opportunity because they are figureheads, right? What they say is carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So shouldn't they say, look, this is not the right way to protest. There are other ways to protest.
No,
These are
the
the
thing is,
alternatives, because a lot of people are listening
we are
to
the
them,
ones
right?
saying that he's instigating it, because from all his TV interviews and the way he spoke about it, he's not telling people to go and show your displeasure. He's just saying that
The reason behind it.
the reasons behind it,
yeah.
and why he's so upset about
see.
it.
That's enough
I see.
already.
That's being vocal. But the thing is, we as people, we have to rationalize the message we're getting. People, like, he delivered the same message to millions. It was broadcasted to the millions of people in England, right? But only a handful came out. What? So we're talking about just a small number of people not being able to process the information in an orderly manner, right? So these things happen. You know what I mean? People will get misread things. People overreact, and this is what essentially is, because they could have come out in the millions or in the 100,000s or in the 1,000. Like entire Manchester could have come up and protest, but you're talking about a handful, 100 came out to protest. So it's just a very small handful. I mean, I'm not again condoning or anything, but it's just what it is. Like the potential versus what really actually happened. So
Which happened already.
which happened. I'm not discounting the fact that some violence took place and all that. I'm in no way encouraging that is the correct way to move forward. But if you're saying Gary Neville is the cause of some royal
Movement
support,
or
so
violent movement, no.
that is not Gary's fault. Like he can be passionate. I can speak about my United so passionate. I'm saying I said it in the show, right? I wouldn't buy jersey and all that. I mean, I'm just hoping someone will realize that and they will take their own action. I'm not saying you go and buy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's different ways to interpret, and of course message received. So that's why I said, like, Gary Neville just spoke out of his love for the club. So how he's being perceived and how the message was taken is not his fault.
because it can be misinterpreted.
It's how people process it. So a handful of people misread whatever, or in their own understanding they went out to process is out there for
There's a problem when you are a celebrity or when you have the power in your words. You need to take in the responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man, right? When
We all know that.
when you have that responsibility, right? When you know that whatever you speak, there is a chance that hundreds of people may take it wrongly. Then you have to mince your words carefully. You know that, okay, you know what? I may instigate a group of 30, 40 people to go and attack somebody. I should take care of my words. I should not make them riled up and do it because of my words, right? So him going on this passionate run and all that, right? Even their ex-pundit for Sky has said that you are a pundit, just continue to call matches and all that, talk about matches rather than doing this. Ole himself has said that he's unhappy about Gary Neville going on this anti-Glazer passionate rant. What else do you need? It is, to me, it's like you can be passionate. Yes, you can be passionate, but to do this on such a big platform like Sky, although they are corrupt, of course, on Sky itself, right? And having the local people who are now being angry to do this now is a wrong time. He's doing it in a wrong way. You can be passionate, but you can also control yourself. And him being a celebrity, he should have a bit more control with his words. Because we can say that, oh, he's just being passionate. But your passion is now inciting something like people to, hey, he's right, man. Come on, let's go and storm the stadium. Make this kind of decision when you know that you shouldn't have done that. That's what I am against, right? If let's say we have players who actually do this, like even Carragher, whatever he's saying about ESL and all that, a lot of the players are already voiced out in the proper way, and he's going on passionate run. To me, it's like he's mouthing his dude off. He shouldn't. As a pundit, he should just concentrate on his punditry. He shouldn't go and stoke this flame. Just let them calm down. Let the people calm down. And good enough, our fans so far has not done this. Because if not, I will not condone this as well.
I think in football there's a lot of battles to be fought, like poor refereeing in EPL this season, the useless handball rule that keeps changing in the middle of season.
Yes. There's a lot of things to
throughout
discuss.
the season.
Throughout the
There's a
season,
lot of things to
inconsistent.
discuss.
So there's battles, and even maybe we need to channel a lot of our efforts, or maybe we don't just hashtag it. We need to put in more effort to stop online abuse.
Yes, exactly.
So recently, in the news is Singapore gets onto the map for the EPL. This
teenager.
Arsenal fan teenager
Yeah.
got charged because he went on a social media rant trying to instigate violence,
passion.
want to
But
kill,
it's not, man.
want
It's
to
not. Exactly.
hurt
They want hurt
Brighton. I think Brighton,
Brighton player.
players,
And his
members.
family as well.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was charged. So this kind of thing, online abuse shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't
as
happen.
well.
I mean, where do we draw the line? Being like ultimately saying it out that you want to hurt somebody and talking in a passionate rant while you know that right now everybody's feeling negative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
I mean, the thing is, honestly speaking, it is supposed to come out as a self-cautious thing. Nobody can tell you to be a good person. You just have to realize it. In fact, it is harder to be a good person than it's harder. It's always easier to be the bad person, because in order to be a good person, you have to take a lot of effort. And the effort we're talking about is about living harmoniously amongst people.
That different personalities.
Exactly. So the thing is, like, we can come out with campaigns, no problem. We can all say, don't do this, don't do that. At the end of the day, it always boils down to individuals who don't heed all this, who don't take that cautious step,
Who
to
goes
be
beyond
correct.
the line,
Yeah.
like you say, goes beyond the line.
So I mean, the easiest things that you can do is, of course, there's one way is to police it. Of course, like the Singaporean teenager who got caught, he was in some way reported and then reported to authorities, and our local authorities took a very serious view.
Exactly,
of it.
exactly.
And,
That's
and,
why.
and I applaud that because that is what we need. We need to set an example. Like this is, even if you just
Not
type
right.
a few
Yeah,
sentences on
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So it has to be punishable in that sense. So until we have such enforcement in elsewhere in relevant respective countries, then only we can curb, because people will then be fearful of that. Because at this point in time, you can send a hate message on Instagram, on Facebook, and get away with it. It's just all electronic, you know. If I choose to delete, I delete. If I'm unlucky, people will have screenshot it or video record it, whatsoever. But at the end of the day, you know, someone will just easily say I got hacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's so easy to just turn a blind eye or just get away from that situation.
Well, football is supposed to unite people.
Yeah.
Right, not to divide them.
Yeah.
So hopefully, anyway, if you guys are not happy, just come to our show. Let's rent it out. Let Kiss My Badge be your outlet.
We don't have that much power like
Just
ASL.
no racism, no
Yeah,
hatred.
yeah,
no, yeah, just
No
keep
hatred.
it.
That's why, no hatred.
Yeah, football true. You
But
know,
then
football
again-
supports unity. Yeah,
Comes to this point.
Yeah.
What punishment does Manchester United?
I don't
Should
know.
we say?
Leave it to the.
I absolutely, because I already voiced it out the previous episodes where we were talking about ESL, right? Like how would these respective the half dirty dozen should be punished is to dock points. Simple as that. Because of that, just dock the points. Because if you are such a successful,
Not about ESL. I'm talking.
I know.
about-
No,
I know.
same
Oh.
punishment.
So I'm talking, yeah,
So he
just
double
yeah,
lah.
double.
Double.
just
Okay.
dock the points.
More points.
Arsenal.
Because the
Can dock how many points?
you see
are there?
Next season.
this directly will hurt the players, right? At the end of the day, the players will feel it's already a mountain to climb to get to the summit, and then if you are already starting a negative, it's going to be harder for you to climb. So
And we had to hurt the fans as well.
it
because
will
their
hurt the
team-
fans. It will hurt, and
You do
eventually,
this,
when the players get
the club
hurt,
get punished.
the owners will get hurt. Because at the end of the day, you know, the players will say, "This is all because of you. Because of you, we were docked points, and it will hurt the synergy of the team." I mean, as much as I don't want a chaotic Manchester United, but if that's all it's gonna take, you know, like this organization, the club, within management, players, and what's not, to really kick in some sense into the Glazers and, you know, try to sell the club, I'm up for it. As long as, again, it's not going to impact people's safety, people's livelihood, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, all we want is our owners to take notice that people are hurting. People are really hurting because they've just basically, this incident has hurt their feelings. This is their livelihood. Football is their way of life. Like Monday to Friday is all work, and then they come back to have a beer and watch football. So it is part of their lifestyle.